Welcome to the Teaching Autism and Special Education Community Podcast. Hi, I'm Nikki, a passionate special educator, autism advocate, resource creator with over a decade of experience, and you may know me as the face behind Teaching Autism. This podcast is your go-to place for practical tips, hands-on strategies, and inspiring and funny stories to support special educators all around the world, whether it's building independence, creating engaging lessons, or finding that elusive work-life balance. I'm here to help you thrive inside and outside of the classroom. Let's dive into today's episode and make a difference together. Hey friend, and welcome back to the Teaching Autism and Special Education podcast. I'm Nikki, your resident autism specialist, visual support nerd, and the first one to say, yep, that kid just smacked someone with a toy truck, and no, they're not a bad kid. Today we're talking about something that we all deal with, peer conflict. Hitting, pushing, shouting, grabbing, arguing, you name it. And here's the thing, conflict will happen. In fact, it's not only normal, it's expected. But how do we respond to it? That's what matters. So today I'm going to be digging into why conflict happens in the first place, especially for our neurodivergent students, how to respond in a neuro-affirming supportive way, and how to use these moments to actually teach communication, not just dish out consequences. All right, let's get into it. First of all, believe it or not, conflict is communication. When a student hits, pushes, yells, or throws a toy, it might look like aggression or being a bad kid, but underneath that, it is communication, always. It could be, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know how to say stop. I feel left out. This play is moving too fast for me. My body needs space and I don't know how to ask for that. Neurodivergent students may not have access to the words, the language, the regulation, or the processing speed in that moment. So we see behavior, and our job is to ask, what is this behavior trying to tell me? And what skill is missing that I can help teach? So step number 1, I want you to regulate before you educate. I say this all the time. You can't teach a dysregulated brain. So when conflict happens, especially if it involves physical aggression, your first job is co-regulation, not consequences. So here's what that might look like. Number 1, stay calm. Easier said than done, I know. Number 2, I want you to use a low, steady voice tone. Number 3, I want you to separate the students only if needed for safety. Number 4, I want you to offer sensory tools, visuals, or a quiet space. And number 5, I want you to breathe and slow things down. This isn't letting anyone get away with it. This is prioritizing safety, both physically and emotionally. A dysregulated child cannot access the part of the brain that understands reasoning, consequences, or empathy. They need connection first. Step number 2, I want you to debrief when everyone is calm. So once both students are regulated, then and only then is it time to talk. Now, this isn't a let's sit down and lecture you moment. This is a chance to model, guide, and co-construct language and reflection. So it looked like you were upset. Can you tell me what happened? Or did your body feel too close to theirs? Or were you trying to say stop? Or next time, what could you try instead? You're guiding the student to name the emotion, recognize the trigger, and practice the replacement skill. And if verbal language is tough, you can use things like visuals and choice boards or even role play. You can make it accessible and you can make it collaborative. Step number 3, I want you to teach the missing skill. Conflict isn't just a behavior moment. It's a teachable moment. If a student hits when someone grabs their toy, I want you to teach them how to say, I'm using that, or wait your turn. If you have a student who screams when overwhelmed, teach them how to ask for space or use a break card. If you have a student who pushes in line, teach them how to say, you're too close, or I need space. Social stories, role plays, modeling, these are all going to be your best friends here. You can also use emotion visuals or even your own adapted resources to build these lessons into your day. Conflict is the signal and your support teaches the skill. So what we don't do, we don't shame and we don't isolate. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Shame does not change behavior. It teaches fear. So sending a student away for the rest of the day, making them write, I will not hit 100 times, telling them they can't play anymore, taking away recess, that doesn't teach communication, that teaches avoidance. And when a student is neurodivergent, these punishments can actually reinforce trauma and mask real needs. This makes things worse long term. We're here to support and not scare. Step number 4, involve the other student too. So this is not just about the student who did something, it's about the one on the receiving end as well. So they may need validation. That might have felt scary or confusing. Language support. You can say, I didn't like that. Empowerment. If that happens again, you can ask for help or say stop. This helps build assertiveness, emotional literacy, and repair. It also prevents that student from developing fear or resentment towards other students who struggle with regulation, because we want to build understanding here. We don't want to build enemies within our classroom. And a bonus tip, I want you to normalize mistakes. So let's make one thing super clear in our classrooms. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone gets overwhelmed. Everyone messes up sometimes, including us, because when we create that classroom environment where mistakes are safe and, we can expect repair, but it's also supported, and where conflict is seen as an opportunity for connection, that's when we really build that positive classroom family environment. And then your students will start to learn how to handle conflict and not just avoid it. So after today, I want you to walk away and think about how you can sort of shift with this behavior. So maybe stop asking, how do I stop this conflict or this behavior? You can now ask, how can I support this student's communication, regulation, and relationships? Because the more that we do that, we're going to teach our students how to handle big feelings, how to ask for help, how to repair after a rupture, and how to connect even when things go wrong, because those are life skills, not just classroom goals. All right, friend, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're looking for visuals, social stories, or resources to support peer conflict and emotional regulation, head over to the show notes. I'm going to link a bunch there. And don't forget to tag me on social media at Teaching Autism if you're using any of today's tips. I love seeing your wins. Until next time, handle conflict with compassion, teach the skills, and keep being the amazing educator that you are.